Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this will be the Combat Series episode number 121 for you guys today. And to kick off the Combat Series this week, I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight that took place in the main event of UFC 320 between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. So in the main event of UFC 320, you've seen Alex Pereira knock out Magomed Ankalaev to become the new undisputed light heavyweight champion in the main event of UFC 320. So my fight summary and my thoughts on the fight that took place last night. I knew that Alex Pereira would knock out Magomed Ankalaev. If you guys followed the Combat Series last week, this was going to be my pick overall, Alex Pereira to knock out Magomed Ankalaev. But by any means did I not see Alex Pereira knocking out Magomed Ankalaev in a matter of 80 seconds to reclaim his throne back at the light heavyweight division. That is absurd, insane. That Alex Pereira only needed 80 seconds to finish off Magomed Ankalaev, who was riding on a high 14-fight winning streak and has never been knocked out in his MMA career up until last night. But in the 80 seconds of the fight that we seen last night, Alex Pereira was the aggressor. He was aggressive, walking down Magomed Ankalaev, making Magomed Ankalaev fight off the back foot, making him go on his high horse. And Alex Pereira cut off the octagon, really didn't leave any room for Magomed Ankalaev to move around in that octagon. And all it took was Alex Pereira to land that signature right hand of destruction. Landed the right hand, you could tell Magomed Ankalaev was very uncomfortable after taking that shot. He tried to play it off, try to land the takedown on Alex Pereira, but it didn't really go far or go as planned for Magomed Ankalaev. And after that point, Alex Pereira just got on top of Magomed Ankalaev, started landing thunderous significant strikes on Magomed Ankalaev as Alex Pereira was on top of not in the mount, but on top of him, and then landing the seriously dangerous elbow strikes on Magomed Ankalaev as well. And Herb Dean seen enough for the fight to end, and Alex Pereira Ciampa became the new undisputed light heavyweight champion in the UFC once again in a matter of 80 seconds into the first round of that fight last night. That, again, is absurd and insane that we've seen Alex Pereira defeat Magomed Ankalaev like that in devastating fashion to not only reclaim his throne at the light heavyweight division, but to also get his own revenge against Magomed Ankalaev, the guy who took his title away from him 7 months ago, winning that fight by unanimous decision. But all along, honestly, maybe Alex Pereira was telling the truth. And what I mean by that is Alex Pereira told all of us after that loss that he suffered against Magomed Ankalaev in March that he was not 100% healthy for the first time against Magomed Ankalaev. And you could tell in that fight, and again, let me pause right here because I'm not taking anything away from Magomed Ankalaev's victory against Alex Pereira. That was well-deserved, and that was a fair fight. But I'm talking about health-wise. I don't think Alex Pereira was truly 100% healthy heading into that first fight against Magomed Ankalaev. You could tell at times he looked uncomfortable in the octagon and looked very hesitant defensively. Really didn't move around the octagon well. But again, Magomed Ankalaev probably had the recipe to defeat Alex Pereira. But at the same time, Alex Pereira did not look like himself 100% in that octagon the first time they fought. But again, that goes to my point of maybe Alex Pereira was telling the truth, guys, because look at the mileage that he's put on his body since 2023. He's had several fights in the UFC. You look at when he fought at middleweight, his final fight at middleweight where he lost to Israel Adesanya, got knocked out that year. Then later on in the year, him and Yuri Prochazka fought at Madison Square Garden where he won the light heavyweight title for the first time, knocking out Yuri Prochazka. Then fought Jamal Hill for the UFC 300 card in the main event. Then fought Yuri Prochazka on a 2 weeks notice to save the UFC 303 event after Conor McGregor had to pull out due to an injury. And he saved the event. Him and Yuri Prochazka saved the event, accepting the fight on a 2 weeks notice. Then fought Khalil Roundtree by the end of 2024 as well. So we have 3 fights in 2024. Then did a quick turnaround to fight Magomed Ankalaev at the beginning of this year. That's a lot of mileage on the body. And yeah, he was successful in most of those fights that I just mentioned. But guys, he's in there with some warriors, some true striking warriors. I think Magomed Ankalaev deserves his credit for the first fight and the first time he defeated Alex Pereira. But I'm just so surprised how the second fight went. And Magomed Ankalaev, again, like I just said a few moments ago, was on a 14-fight winning streak. And it all evaporated in a matter of 80 seconds along with his light heavyweight title reign. So I think we got to give Alex Pereira his credit, his flowers, because he's achieved a lot for only having 12 UFC fights. I mean, the amount of accomplishments and the amount of winning streaks that he's ended since joining the UFC is insane. I mean, he broke Sean Strickland's 18-fight winning streak. He broke Israel Adesanya's 23-fight winning streak. He broke Yuri Prochazka's 13-fight winning streak. He shattered Jamal Hill's 4-fight winning streak. He conquered Khalil Roundtree's 5-fight winning streak. And then just blew up Magomed Ankalaev's 14-fight winning streak in a matter of 18 seconds. This guy, Alex Pereira, is the real deal, guys. He is now taking back his spot in the top 5 rankings, pound for pound. No matter how you have your UFC pound for pound rankings, you got to have Alex Pereira back in the top 5 after last night. I won't give a long, this will be quick, but top 3 right now, you have to say it would be Ilia Topuria, 1, Islam Makhachev, 2, and Merab at 3. And I'll put Alex Pereira at 4, and then probably put Khamzat Chimaev at 5. That's my top 5 pound-for-pound rankings right now in the UFC. But Alex Pereira definitely deserves to be back in that top 5 conversation after this victory, after his victory against Magomed Ankalaev last night. So, to close out the segment, what's next for Alex Pereira? Now, Alex Pereira does have plenty of options after his victory against Magomed Ankalaev last night at UFC 320, winning that fight once again in a matter of 80 seconds. But he has options. He has voiced that he wants to move up to the heavyweight division. That could be interesting. He could also do 2 trilogy fights. He could either do the trilogy fight with Magomed Ankalaev in the beginning part of 2026 for the light heavyweight title, or he could do another trilogy and fight Yuri Prochazka next for the light heavyweight title, who was successful in his own fight on this card, knocking out Khalil Roundtree in the 3rd round of their respective fights. So he does have options. Could give a title shot to one of those guys that I just mentioned in a trilogy fight, or if he can get past one of those guys that I just mentioned in early part 2026, move up to heavyweight during the summer and fight either Tom Aspinall or John Jones this upcoming summer at the White House for the UFC White House card. I mean, John Jones and Alex Pereira, that check writes itself. Alex Pereira possibly fighting Tom Aspinall, that check writes itself. Those are some bit. Oh my God. As I'm dying with the cough, I apologize. I think those are 2 big-time fights right there for Alex Pereira if he moves up to heavyweight. Now, yes, I know John Jones is retired, and most likely the only fight that John Jones will get in the UFC octagon again is if he's willing to return to fight Tom Aspinall. But guys, that is a huge fight possibly for the White House if Dana White can get John Jones to come back, because Alex Pereira already said he has aspirations of fighting John Jones at the heavyweight division. So again, I think Alex Pereira is still a household name, still top 5 pound for pound, even though he's 37, 38 years of age. Still has plenty of options for some big fights next when we see him in 2026. But I think Alex Pereira is going to have a good year in 2026 as well. But that is my fight summary of the fight that took place last night between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev.